This video will show you how easy it is for a resource manager to handle requests for projects and replacing generic resources with actual named resources from your line or department. We're going to navigate to the PWA, the project portal, and go straight to the resource manager area. Right now, as you can see in the top right corner, I'm logged in as Chris Gray, and Chris Gray is a line manager, and that's why he has access to write in the allocation column, also known as the A column. We can now see that someone has requested resources for the Resource Manager demo project. Right now, only one project is actually part of my department, but otherwise there would be multiple projects to select from in this filter section. I can select between different skill sets, consultants, developers, as many as I would like, depending on how many I am the line manager of. I have the time settings filter, view, month or weeks, and the update button to update the grid below. If I need some more screen space, I can remove the filter section by clicking in the upper right corner here. And right now what we can see is that somebody is requesting consultants and developers for the project called Projection Resource Manager Demo. I can also see that when it comes to my consultants, I have in free capacity, that's the FC column, 4 in total, 4 FTEs that I can allocate back to this particular project in this particular time period, meaning October. The red font signals that this is the period where somebody is requesting resources from me. And if it is green, it means that I have no problems or any other issues or requests that I need to take care of. So to begin, we can start by hitting the consultant line right here, and hit the Insert Resources button. This will give me access to all the resources, named resources, that I am the manager of, and that has the skill as consultants. In this case, I'm just going to add Mike Phipps. So Mike Phipps drops in as one extra line, and I can see that Mike Phipps is 1 FTE or full-time available throughout the entire period that I'm looking at right now. So in November 2012, somebody is requesting 1 consultant, so I'm just going to give Mike Phipps back to the requester by hitting the cell and entering 1. I will do the same in January, 1, and hit the Publish button. As you can see, I still have a lot of red cells to handle below here, and you can also see in the top row here that I have 5 conflicts in total that I need to handle. These 5 conflicts are the same as the 5 red periods that are in red right now below. Also, if I drill down here, you can see a complete description of what you need to do. So in this case, you need a generic resource developer that needs to be allocated to this particular project in October, November, December, January, and February. And what this solution handles is that you cannot, as line manager, decide not to handle any requests. You need to either give back resources or decide not to. So let's make an example. I'm just going to go to the developer line, hit the Insert Resources button, and insert Ari Bigson, who's a developer. Ari Bigson is only 0.90% available in this particular time period, so she's either after some training or working on some other projects. In the second period, she's 0.65% and 0.40% in January and 90% available in February. So let's allocate a full-time or as much as we can for this project. So by hitting the button here on the cell, we're going to allocate 0.9 of her time, 0.65 in this period, 0.65 here, 0.40, 0.9, 0.9, and that's it. So if I hit the Publish button right now, I would still have the same amount of issues as I have still not handled the required requests for developers throughout all the periods. So I still have some conflicts I need to take care of. So what I can do is that I can decide not to give the full amount of required resources back to this project owner, or simply insert several other resources. For this example, I could hit the Insert Resources button again and insert Limor Henning. And she's full-time available throughout the period, so I can just allocate, for instance, in October, 0.1% 0.1 FTE of Limor's total capacity. And this will then make the October period go green, meaning that I have now handled all the requests and given allocations back that match the total request. I can do the same in this period, 0.35, 0.35, 0.6. And maybe in February, I will decide not to give any resources back to this project requester besides the one I already gave. So in this case, actually, I allocated too much time because the requirements were for 0.5 and I gave 0.9. So this is actually a problem as I have given back more allocations than actually needed for this project. So this is still a problem for us. So let's try to delete this entry and instead go to the unassigned row, meaning that I have decided not to give any resources, and write 0.5. So now the requests are exactly the same as the allocation field, so that means it goes green and we can actually move ahead. Also notice that I in March actually did some allocations that were not needed. So right now I have allocated 0.9 FTEs in March and there is no request. So this is also an error that I need to take care of. And the way to solve it is to simply write 0 here. So again, the allocations match the requests. I still have one more problem, as you can see, because we still have red cells in January. And this is because that there is a request for 2 full-time equivalent resources that can work as developers, and I have decided only to allocate 1. So in this case, I will only give 1, and therefore I need to go to the unassigned row and say 1 will not be assigned to you, although you requested 2. This turns the total period of January to go green, meaning that we have now no issues in the total grid, and I can do my publish back to the project owner or project manager.